Hello everyone, Adrian Rodriguez here with the Agenda Management System team, and I'm going to be going over user story AGDA 102, display the fields of an item. So this is a front-end item. Basically, we're trying to take an item or a matter from the database and displaying it on the front end with React. So as a user, I'd like to view how the fields that an item has so I can view the information an item has within the application. This is our use case diagram, sequence diagram. Basically, we want to query the item. The Express API takes care of that endpoint. We query the database and then we get a response. Um, so we can take a look at that right here. And the way that we can view an item is by referencing its ID. We go to this route, view item, and we enter an ID. Um, we can also click on an item and view its contents by title here. So we can look at, I don't know, let's say 12. And here, this is an item that has bugged out sections, but generally, this is the user story displaying these fields. So we have the title, the contract, file name, basically all this metadata about the file, as well as the filled out sections of the body, and the history. We can see another example here. A recommendation, scope, etc. And then all these histories. In the code, we look at the code right here in view item. We have this controller in view model. So this controller, when it loads, it gets an item, and this calls the code in the backend to get the item info and the item history, all within one endpoint. And we pass that as props to the item view details if it was successful with these pieces of code. So if there's an item history and item info available, then we render these pieces of code. We can take a look at how that looks inside here. So it's kind of a cut and dry, just accessing the properties by the key. These shouldn't change because these are how they're defined in the database. And here we have the object return for the sections, and we just go through them as an array. We map each of its keys and access their values and print them out, which is how we're getting it here on the front end. Same thing with the history. We're passing those as props into this component, and we're just rendering them. Let's see. Yeah. And we're also converting the date time stamp into a readable human date. That's how you do that. But that's pretty much it. Um, this is just merely displaying the um, contents of a database item matter on the front end.